Hello, everyone. My name is Kayla Toure, and I'm the National American Miss Teen. Welcome to yet another amazing episode of my Instagram live series, HBCU-ish. Today, I have Naia Torres, a legend in the pageant industry and also a fantastic fashion model. We are going to get the insight on Naia, her pageant journey, and all of her amazing and fantastic accomplishments. I'm so excited to be going live with her, and I'm so excited that you guys are all tuning in. So let's get started. Let's speak to Naia.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fine. I love your makeup. It is gorgeous.
Beautiful yourself.
Thank you. Okay, are you ready? Okay, awesome. Let's get started, guys. This is Naia Torres, a pageant legend. Naia Torres is from Oahu, Hawaii, and has been doing pageants for over 8 years. She has formerly held an international and a national title, as well as represented Hawaii on the national level numerous times. She is the founder of the nonprofit organization Caring for Our Community Incorporated, and a creator of social media movements including My Beauty Revolution and My Story Unfiltered. Naia is passionate about advocating for more diversity and inclusivity in our media. Welcome, Naia. So, Naia, we're going to start playing a game. We're not even going to ask the questions. We're going to play a game right now. This is my first time ever doing this. Playing a game first. I think I cannot hear you though. Can you say a sentence?
Say a sentence?
Yes, you're good. I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, guys, we're gonna play a game first. We're gonna change it up a bit. So we're gonna play a game called This or That. I'm gonna give you two options. You're gonna pick one of the options. There's no right or wrong answer, but you're gonna have to tell us why you picked that option out of all the other options. Are you ready?
Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay. Would you rather have a Naomi Campbell walk or a Rihanna sense of fashion?
That's so hard.
It's very hard.
I think a Rihanna sense of fashion, because I think we can all agree Rihanna's iconic. I love the way she dresses. And then as far as walk-wise, although Naomi Campbell is one of my like runway icons, I'd rather have like a Naia walk, like I'd rather have my own walk be down in history than have someone else's. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Next one. Braids or ponytail or wash and go?
Normally I'm a wash and go girl, but if I could choose, I would have braids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cha-cha slide or Cupid shuffle?
Cupid shuffle.
We love Cupid shuffle. Okay, next one. Destiny's Child or The Supremes?
Oh, Destiny's Child for sure.
Do you have a favorite song from Destiny's Child?
Bills.
Ooh, we love
Pay
that.
My bills.
Yes. that song actually I think just recently got popular on TikTok, so we love that. Brown Skin Girl by Beyonce or Break My Soul by Beyonce?
Break My Soul by Beyonce. I feel like that was in actually like my pageant prep list. Like I would practice that song so much. So it's definitely an important song in my life.
Love that song. Would you rather unlimited Telfar bags or unlimited Ivy Park clothing?
Unlimited Ivy Park clothing. I'm definitely more of like a clothing girl than a bag girl. I feel like I'm actually really rough with my bags, so I try not to get nice bags for myself. But yeah, Ivy Park clothes.
Love it. Black Panther or Wakanda Forever?
Oh, that's so hard. I think Black Panther, just because Chadwick Boseman was still alive in it, but Wakanda Forever made me shed so many tears.
Yeah. Yes. That was it for this or that. How did you feel answering those this or that questions?
That was fun, but I'm also a super indecisive person, so I feel like having to choose one out of like two things I like is so hard.
I feel the same way. Okay, guys, we're gonna get into questions with Naia. We're gonna talk to her and figure out how did she become so amazing as she is now. So, you've been competing in your bio, you said, for around 8 years. That is such a long time. You had the honor of holding national and international titles. So, can you talk to us a little bit about your pageant journey and how did you find out about pageantry?
So before the 8 years, there was this pageant called the Pretty Little Princess pageant. It was kind of like a glitz pageant. It traveled around the world, and one year they sent flyers in the mail that they were coming to Hawaii. And I think I was like maybe, let's say seven at this point. And I begged my mom to let me enter. And then after that, I would do these local pageants called the Aloha Tower pageants, which were just more glitz pageants. And then after that, I took a break for a while. I think it might have been way more than 8 years. I put it wrong in the bio. And then when I was 11 years old, I ran in the United States pageants. And I got the title of Miss Hawaii Preteen. And I went up to nationals for my first time. And I feel like, I think all pageant girls know the adrenaline rush you get after your first pageant. Like, you just get the bug. You want to keep competing. And so I think when I was 14, I went back and I ran for High School America in Hawaii, and I won, which was really surprising because I was still like fresh faced, barely knew what I was doing. I had no coaches, like I was really just in it. And I won, I went up to nationals, and then after that, I just kept going. I was like, I want to do another one. And then I actually went to USA National Miss as a preteen when I was 12. I did not make top, is it 15? I didn't make top 15. And for most of the pageants I did after that, I did not make top 15. And then all of a sudden, when I'm a junior in high school, I come back to USA National Miss as a junior teen. And my goal that year was just to make top 15. I had never made top 15. I was like, let me just make this for the first time in my life. I'll be happy. And then I won. And I don't even know. I was not expecting it. Like, I was just some unknown girl from Hawaii competing against so many, well-accomplished girls who've been doing pageants for most of their lives, even though, like, you can say I've been doing pageants for most of my life, but Hawaii pageants are very different from, like, what we call mainland pageants. So, yeah, and then after USA National Miss, I was like, let me do USA, because it was just fun. I just wanted to see how much farther I could go. And ever since then, I've been, second runner-up, first runner-up. This past summer, I went to Teen University USA. I was first runner-up. Went back to USA National Miss as a teen. I got second runner-up, and then I went to IJM, and I think it's top 12, top 15, top 12. One of those. One of the cuts. But yeah, I think just being able to see how much I grow as a person and how pageants not only help me with like modeling, but with like speaking and networking. Like, I just want to keep going, and I don't know when I'm gonna stop, honestly. I don't know when I'm gonna retire.
I love that. And I want to highlight that you said that pageantry has helped you a lot with speaking and networking. So can you talk to us a little bit about maybe a project that you were able to do as a result of those characteristics and the things that you learned from pageantry?
So from a young age, I model now, but before this, I always wanted to be a model. Didn't know how to do it because, like, I'm 5'3". I thought models had to be, like, tall girls. Didn't know what I was doing. And it was actually USA National Miss that got me signed with my agency in New York, MMG. And then that year, I got to go to New York Fashion Week, like, multiple times. And then from there, I got to network with designers. And then I implemented that knowledge of modeling that I learned in New York into Hawaii. And then I learned how to reach out to brands, reach out to people to find jobs. And I kind of feel like that's why I'm at the place where I'm at today, because of pageants.
I love that. And you are from Hawaii, such a beautiful state. Do you have a favorite cultural dish that you eat in Hawaii?
I think I can speak for everyone with our favorite dishes. Like it's called kalua pork. I like poi, and we do have like lomi salmon, which a lot of people like, but I personally don't like it. But yeah, I love lau lau, squid luau. I love Hawaiian food.
Love that. And since this is HBCU-ish and we are all about spreading the Black excellence, spreading that Black girl magic, what does those two terms or words mean to you, and how are you able to spread that in your every single day life?
So from my experience growing up in Hawaii, I feel like I wasn't surrounded by like that strong Black community. When I would go home to my family or like visit my family in the mainland, I wasn't surrounded by a lot of other Black people. But for me, Black excellence kind of represents, breaking the standard that society has placed on us. Because what I heard about, you know, people like me was that we had kind of a bad connotation. I grew up hearing like, oh, they get arrested, they're in jail for drugs, like they're not going anywhere. So when people started highlighting Black excellence, it kind of felt like we were slowly changing the narrative, which I think is really good. That's everything I try to advocate in my life is, representing the minorities, representing the people that weren't highlighted throughout history. And it kind of relates to my Hawaiian culture too, like putting Hawaiians up on a pedestal, advocating for my culture as well. Um, so yeah.
And do you have a African American figure, pageant queen, role model that you look up to, and why do you look up to them?
Throughout my entire life, I have looked up to Misty Copeland. I actually wanted to be a ballerina for the longest time in my life, but I tend to look up to figures, that came from adversity or that were kind of told that they couldn't do what they're doing, because I felt like for so long in my life, I've been told like, oh, you're never going to do good in pageants because you're not tall, you're not skinny, you don't look like all these other girls, or in modeling, you're never going to be a runway model because you're short, or just all these people in society like to tell us what we can and cannot do just because of how we look, or just because of where we come from. But it's people like Misty Copeland and other people that represent what Black excellence looks like in society, that show us that it doesn't matter what other people say. Like if we have enough dedication, we can break the mold.
And I want to reiterate that you said that you love Missy Copeland, especially because of her overcoming obstacles. And I absolutely love that. Missy Copeland is such a fantastic dancer. So can you maybe talk to us about an obstacle that you overcame and how you overcame it?
Oh, there was so much. Let's see. Um, when I was younger, I did get bullied. I was a bit heavier when I was younger. Um, and I got bullied a lot for how I looked, my weight. Um, I definitely think people that knew me then would not think that I would end up the way I ended up in my life right now. What else? I did also struggle with anxiety and depression. Actually, during USA National Miss, that was one of the hardest years of my life, depression-wise. And just to be able to know that I helped as many girls as I did while I was also kind of going through my own internal battle, makes me really proud to look back at today.
Love that. So we are going to play our last game. And then I'm going to ask you a few more questions and then we are done. It has been such an honor talking to you, Naia. You're such a multifaceted role model. And I look up to you, and I know so many more people that are on here that look up to you. And I'm just so thankful that you took the time out of your very busy day to come and talk to me. And also, guys, it was very hard to transfer the Hawaiian time to Eastern Standard.
Right. I'm so sorry.
No, it's that. Fine, but we're here. We're doing it.
I know. So glad we are.
I honestly. Okay, so the next game I'm playing with you, and then we have a few more questions, is guess that quote. I'm going to give you a quote, 3 options. One of the options are the answer. So I think you got this. Also, shout out to Vanessa Van Dyke that joined. Hey, guys, Vanessa will actually be on here right after Naia, so I have back-to-back amazing pageant queens. Okay, let's get started with these quotes. Belief in oneself and knowing who you are I mean, that's the foundation for everything great. Was this said by Jay-Z, P. Diddy, or DJ Khaled? You guys can also comment down below and also help Naia if you know the answer.
I'm taking a huge guess. Jay-Z.
That guess was correct.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool.
Awesome. Okay, next one. Like comedy, horror has the ability to provoke thought and further the conversation on real social issues in a very powerful way. Was this said by Ava DuVernay, Tyler Perry, or Jordan Peele?
Jordan Peele.
You're correct again.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
These are great guesses. Okay, we have two more. If you get a 4 out of 4, that would be fantastic.
I'm scared. I'm like, maybe I'm starting a little bit too strong.
No, you're doing great. Okay, next one. I'd rather regret the risk that didn't work out than the chances I didn't take at all. Was this said by Simone Biles, Gabriella Douglas, or Usain Bolt?
Gabriella Douglas.
Are you sure? Is that your final answer? Is that your final guess?
I'm in between like Simone Biles and Gabriella Douglas.
Okay.
Wait. Simone.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay. If you guys know the answer, comment down below. What's your okay? I think someone's asking you a pattern question. Is it Simone or is it Gabby? Last option. Last answer.
Say the quote one more time.
I'd rather regret the risk than the chances I didn't take at all.
Simone, final answer.
Okay. Well, Naia, unfortunately, Simone is the answer. Okay, we have this is actually okay. We have one last one. If you get a 4 out of 4, I mean, you will be the best guesser ever. I believe in you. Okay, last one. I don't want race to become a trend. I did not work 28 years for it to be a trend. Was this said by Beverly Johnson, Tyra Banks, or Naomi Campbell? You got this, Naia. You got this. You got this.
Naomi Campbell?
You're right. Oh, yes! Okay, yet another queen making history. So far it's Miss Missouri, USA, you, and Shayla Wackel that have all gotten 4 out of 4s. You guys are legends. Amazing. Yes. Okay. So I have a few more questions for you. So this is kind of like a two-part question. My first question for you is, do you have a favorite Black-owned business out in Hawaii? And my second question for you is, why do you think Black businesses are so important?
My favorite Black-owned business out here is actually called YP Beauty Paradise. It's owned by this girl, Jalen. She actually does my braids when I decide to get my hair braided every month. I think Black-owned businesses in Hawaii are so important because we don't have as much out here as the mainland, at least to my knowledge. I think we definitely need more. I think the Black community needs to grow out here in Hawaii because I think the lack of a Black community out here, besides, those that are in the military, did affect the way I grow up greatly. Little tidbit, when I was in high school, there was only like a few of us that were Black in my grade, and I actually grew up being called like the N-word, like being told that, I belong in like cotton fields, all these, racial slurs, all these jokes, about me being Black. And I think that's just because of the lack of community here in Hawaii. So I definitely think that needs to grow here.
And do you have any advice for maybe, because I know you said in Hawaii there's not a lot of African American people, maybe the presence of Black excellence. So do you have any advice for maybe a student that's in Hawaii or a student that's in a location that does not have the representation of African Americans? Do you have any advice for them on how they can educate themselves on Black History Month or Black excellence?
Social media is such a great tool. Definitely follow those on social media, that represent Black excellence for what it stands for, or those that advocate, there are a lot of girls I follow that share the history, especially not even just during Black History Month. They share the history of, our community on a daily basis. And I think if we use social media as a tool to learn more about our, history and where we come from, we can have a kind of newfound appreciation for where we come from. I think when I definitely learned more about, where I came from and my ancestors before me, that's when I started to be like, I am so proud to be Black.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I come from a long line of amazing people, including like my own family, my own grandpa who served in the war. And I just think history makes it, so beautiful. It's so beautiful to see where we came and where we are now.
I love that. And my last question for you, this is also a two-part question. Number one, do you have an African American queen that has maybe inspired your pageant journey or has impacted your journey as a pageant queen? And my second question for you is, can you tell us a message for maybe a little boy or girl that is scared to wear their natural hair?
Okay. So a Black queen that inspires me, I actually have two. One is like in my life, and the second would be maybe like a pageant girl I want to highlight. And I think we all have an idea over who this pageant girl might be, because I know she affects so many people's lives. She's just a light. She's someone great to know. The pageant queen would be Miss Faith.
Yes.
We love her. We love her. I've been following her for years, just in awe of her. We've been like Instagram mutuals, never met in person. And then when I met her at IJM this past year, I was just like, yeah, this is why everything. She just has this light to her, this love that she has to give everyone, and she has a presence. When you look at someone and they just have this way that they carry themselves, it just screams power and confidence. Like, Faith is one of the epitome of Black queens that I've gotten to meet. I'm so lucky to know in my life, and she inspires me so much in everything she does.
Yes.
My second Black queen would be, of course, my mother. My mother is a veteran, and now she's a sergeant in the Honolulu Police Department, and she is one of the strongest people I know. And I feel like every time I have an interview, as generic as it is, when people are like, who's someone that inspires you? I'm like, my mom, because she is crazy cool. She's actually the person who encouraged me to, start my own nonprofit organization, start my own social media campaign, do things that I never thought I'd be able to do. But she really shows me that nothing's impossible. You just have to put your mind to it.
Love that.
Second part of the question. My advice to someone that's having a hard time, loving their natural hair is, my hair is curly. I'm still learning to love my hair, and it may be a long process, especially when society tells you, what looks beautiful. And we have so many years and years and years of just opinions embedded into our brain. And I think that's why I have my beauty revolution. It's to highlight, the changes that we need in the media. And so for anyone that doesn't like their natural hair, I'd say wear it now. Don't put heat on it, because you're going to end up like me, trying to get your curls back after you spent your life putting heat on it and it's dead. So just appreciate it now, because especially curls are in trend. Like, people want to have hair that looks like ours. People get perms. Yeah.
Love that. Oh my goodness, Naia. It has been such an honor to have you as a guest on my HBCU series. For anyone that maybe doesn't know Naia, she is such a ray of sunshine. When she hops on that runway stage, that pageant stage, she just lights up the entire stage, and she is so kind, confident, and she is such an amazing title holder. I cannot wait to see all of the amazing things you do in your modeling career, in your pageant career, and anything that you wish to do in the future. You have done so many amazing things, and thank you for taking out the time of your day to speak to me. It's such an honor. Do you have maybe
I was the one who was
oh,
honored.
thank you. Do you have any last message that you want to say? Maybe words of wisdom, advice, anything?
Oh, this is advice that I think I just learned now, and this is specifically, I think, to my pageant girls. Something I've held close to my heart now, especially with like not losing. Nothing's a loss. Nothing's a loss in life, especially in pageants. Every time you feel like you didn't get the goal you want to reach, it's because you're getting prepared for an even bigger one. So
I like that. I like that. I definitely agree, especially since you know, not every time you compete you're gonna win the crown, but like Naia said, it's not a loss. I feel like sometimes you can look at it as a gain. Maybe it's not your time. Maybe God has something even better prepared for you, or maybe He's telling you you need to work on something a little bit more so
right,
that you're able to, you know. So I
like
love.
Deshaun Barber, I think it took her
Mhm.
8 losses
Yes.
to win Miss USA.
Yes, and look, she won her state, and then she became Miss USA, and now she's a motivational speaker that all of
Right.
us listen to 24/7. So you can hear people like Deshauna Barbara, Naia Torres literally telling you, or even me. So I love that. Naia, it has been an honor. Guys, follow Naia. DM her if you want. If you guys have any more like pageant advice, you can DM her. And just continue to follow her amazing journey. She has left such an amazing legacy, and I cannot wait to see all the other amazing things that you do. Thank you so much, Naia. Can't wait to talk to you soon. And thank you to everyone that yes, thank you to everyone that tuned in. And yeah, it's been an honor. Talk to you soon, okay? Bye,
Bye.
guys.